There's an important piece of business advice that I've learned recently. It's to ignore the people who are like, you know what you should make? Okay, there is a fine line here. I love getting feedback from my customers. I seek it, I love it. It helps me improve my planners and my products to make them better year after year. This is super important for any business. On the flip side, there are always people who are going to be suggesting or flat out telling you what you should be making. These planner inserts are a product, literally, of a customer telling me just that. This valued customer, and I mean that sincerely, very valued, after several emails asking me to make these, I went ahead and I made them. And they never bought any. Then, in a separate email, thanked me for making them, and then asked if I was also going to be making a different kind of inserts as well. Now, I don't know her story, so I'm not mad at her, I'm not holding anything against her, but it was a lesson learned as well. Lucky for all of us, these inserts are actually amazing, and I can't wait to show you them. By the way, if we have not yet met, my name is Heather Liedl, and I'm the one-woman show behind the intentional, beautiful, and simple Sprouted Planners. Sprouted Planner was founded in 2020 with two littles at home, during a pandemic, and after losing one of my favorite people in the whole world, my dad. As a die-hard planner user myself, I created the planner that I wish I had during this extremely hard season in my life. One that's intentional and reflective, yet simple and functional with no pre-labeled boxes, and of course, beautiful. Currently, I offer 4 different kinds of planners: daily, weekly, hourly, and monthly, along with other beautiful and functional accessories. Find all those goodies at sproutedplanner.com and follow me here on YouTube and over on Instagram. Onward! In this video, I'll be covering 4 points about these planner inserts. The creation and manufacturing process, the nitty-gritty details of them, how to use them, and what people are saying about them. So let's buckle up and dive in. By the way, the third step about how to use them, I will be turning the camera around, we'll be pulling out our punches, and we'll be doing them together. All right, point number 1, creating the inserts. From the beginning of 2023, I knew I wanted to create planner inserts, but I also knew they were going to be secondary to the main planners. When I refer to main planners, I'm talking about the already done, bound, binded, set to go ones. I mean secondary because it was going to be if I had the time and resources to do it. It wasn't until the main planners were manufactured and shipped to me in my garage until I actually started designing the inserts, which was a whole process. I was hoping I could just do a fancy scale down process in my design software, but it was a little more complicated than that. So using the scale down method as a template, I then had to change box sizes and resize things, etc. It was way better than starting from scratch, but it was still a ton of work. For my first round, I decided to only do the weekly and daily planners for the planner inserts. These inserts are the exact same layout and features as their more official counterpart. Next, I had to find a manufacturer. Since I already had my other planners made and shipped from overseas, which is a whole expensive process in and of itself, I knew I didn't have time to do that process again. I knew I had to find a local printer. I've worked with one previously and I loved them. Plus, I really wanted something local. In the grand scheme of things, I would love to manufacture all my planners locally, but that is a different story for a different time. Previously, I worked with a printing company that is 10 minutes away from my house, and I knew I wanted to work with them again. The owner is the nicest and most helpful guy. Thus began the printing process. All right, so we created our planners, we found manufacturing, now the samples and printing process has begun. When you create products, you always go through the general steps of telling the printer, or whoever is making your product, everything you need. Quantity, paper type, black and white or color, double-sided printing, size, paper type, timeline, etc. There's always a million questions. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot I have to make all these decisions. They also have to review the files with a printing item to make sure everything is dark enough or clear enough that it will be a quality print, essentially. After you agree upon a price, they create a sample for you. After you approve the sample, which is going through basically the entire thing, making sure everything is in order, the paper is the way you like it, it's clearly printed, the ink is dark enough, etc. So after you approve that sample, or oftentimes you find an error or something is not dark enough and you need to redo all the files and then do the whole process over again to have them make another sample. But once your samples, however many, are approved, then it goes into full production. Once that's done, you pay and pick them up. All right, let's talk details of these puppies. All right, first starting with size. These are A5 size, meaning they are 5.83 by 8.27 inches. So essentially they are a half sheet of paper. As you can see, they are unpunched. And then let's talk about the paper. The paper is 80-pound white paper with a medium fine tooth. Someone compared it likely to Erin Condren paper. The daily, this chunky boy, is 536 pages, which is 268 double-sided sheets. And it is the full January through December 2024 year. And of course is loose leaf. Once I take this plastic off, it's just free-flowing paper. The weekly, also the full year, is 262 pages. That is 131 double-sided sheets. A lot smaller. Okay. Let me tell you. About 1 3/4 inches. Let me hold that up to you there. And then for this one, it is just over 3/4 of an inch wide. All right, let's switch over to the table and I'm going to show you how to use them. Okay, so I had to go through the whole learning process of how to use inserts because I had never done it before. So I went to Amazon and I bought all my supplies on there, and then I got to work educating myself, which was the most fun education I've ever done. But here is the gist of using inserts. So using a punch that you have at home, which you have to purchase, obviously, that's how life works. So using the specific punch you want, you punch out your inserts, and then you either use them in a disc system like this or in a ring system. People really love these systems for their flexibility of planning. So they can create their own planner just using a full planner such as this. They can create their own pages through Canva or whatever design system they have and use that and put it in their planner. Or they can do a Frankenplan where they take a little bit of this planner, a little bit of that planner, and make their own planner based on their needs. The other thing people really like about using this system, they can take the page right out of the system, and right out of their planner, and then write on it unhinged by the binding. So let's break this down further, starting with the disc system. While they weren't the first, I think most people think of the Happy Planner when they think of the disc system. The paper is bound using these plastic discs, and they have a little ledge on them. That's what kind of holds it in place. You need a very specific kind of paper punch for these, as the punches are often referred to as a mushroom punch because it looks like, well, a mushroom, as you can see here. So I got my mushroom punch on Amazon for planning purposes, of course. This is the Tool brand. There are other types of brands. I know Happy Planner has their own one and generic ones, but I got the Tool one, which is a heavy duty one, man. Ooh, mushrooms are coming out everywhere. So insert users typically have a cover and a backing that they use, whether they create their own or maybe a planner company sells it with theirs. This one I got, I think this is the Tool brand as well, but so it came like this with this in here. The discs you can buy in bigger sizes too, so you want to make sure that you buy it to accommodate the size of your planner. These would be too small for this unless I used little chunks at a time, but I'm not going to go into the whole disc system. I'm just going to show you. So insert users usually have a cover and backing system, thus allowing them to purchase these inserts and tuck them right into this little cover sandwich. The ring system is more like a 3-ring binder that you used, except for fancier. They usually have 3 rings on top, 3 rings on the bottom. It's still the pop open style we know and hate. Setting up works the same way. So you buy a punch that is going to be a ring punch. So here they have the 3 punches here, punches here. You can adjust sizing. I got this also at Amazon. So you buy the specific punch, and you punch all your pages, then you add them to your binding. All right, let's get into it, shall we? All right, let's just find our first, and here we'll just do January since that is the month we are in. Okay, put the rest aside. As you can see here, we have our monthly spread and then the weekly spread. So these are created with enough room right on this side where we will do January for the disc planner and we'll do February for the rings. So you take it, you put it in here, boom, you punch, and you got your mushroom punch. So you got this. Once you get your punches in, then you go through and you just, probably shouldn't do it with this much, but you just push it in here, and then voila, you are all set. You are all set with your discs. Take our month of love for the rings, including our reflection pages. Get that in there. Punch. Let's see. Let's test the limits of this bad boy. Ooh, she is small but mighty. Okay, so you got that. You open up your rings. Oh my gosh. No, you get them on in there. And now you have your ring system. Oh, I did that totally backwards. Well, you get the idea. Make sure you're actually punching correctly. Do as I say, don't do as I do. So that's how you use those. The third option is just to use a clipboard or nothing at all. You can just have these some sort of basket or holder and just take out what you need. You could use a little stand here, so when you're using the maybe daily pages, I have a daily page here. You could just fill out your page, pretend the holes aren't here. You could fill out your page and then you could just put it up here and use that as a really clean, simple process as well. I'd be curious if anyone actually does this. Doesn't punch it, just uses the unpunched inserts and uses it one page at a time. Let me know.
Lastly, let's talk about the reviews. So I wanted to share what some real life customers of these are actually saying. There are two specific things that they rave about. First of all, they are losing their mind over this paper in a good way. They say the weight and the tooth is perfect. There's not been one complaint about this paper. Only fans. That takes a new meaning in this day and age. They also say they love that this size is available, especially for folks who feel like this 7x9 size is just a little too big for them. We have some real A5 size fans out there, and I'm happy to meet that need. Okay, to wrap it all up, the jury is still out on whether the inserts will be an in-demand product here at Sprouted Planner. It is yet to be seen. The plan is to have them again for this upcoming academic year and then for 2025. From there, I will assess if there's a big enough demand for it and if I will keep making them. I hope there is, and I hope I do. After playing around with them, I can definitely see why people like this style of planning. So here's my question for you. Are you a disc or a ring user? If so, what do you love about it? All right, thank you so much for spending your precious time watching this video, and I will see you on the next one. These are